Oh, hello, everybody. It's Del Shores.
And I'm Emerson Collins, and this is the Del and Emerson Show.
Straight talk.
Real gay. It's our 100th live stream episode since the pandemic started.
I know it. I hope I get to that in my life where there's this celebration. They go, happy 100th, Del Shores. And I go, what?
Well, you'll be around Palm Springs with a walker. You'll be fine.
With Ann Walker.
Just still. Uh-huh.
Wearing that yellow blouse, getting free drinks.
Stop. When it becomes time, can we all get together and get her a special, like, rhinestone walker and call it the Walker Walker?
Yes, it's so perfect. Well, happy 100th, Emerson. I poured an old fashioned. I made an old fashioned. So cheers, everybody. If you're, I know some of our people are drinking already. So
Have been.
To
I got
our
my Dr.
100th.
Pepper.
Cheers. Woo, that's strong.
You did so good.
I may be drunk at the end of this show.
Y'all, he tasted it before the show and he went, woo! And then he went, I wonder if I can recreate that on the show. And you did. It was an excellent performance.
Oh, Emerson, you just spoil everything. But y'all
No.
didn't know, did you? You didn't know that was an acting moment, right?
I want them to appreciate the talent in the work.
I've had enough liquor that it really doesn't have that big of an effect on me when I don't do that. I just go, yum. So
Xana's got champers, Doug's got his IV hooked up, and we do have still a full show for you today. We've got Dr. Rachel Levine, the Pope appointed a gay, Alan Turing's on money, a capital cheater caught, golden Gaytime, Shang's Sexuality from Mulan, kids testifying for trans rights, Sharon Stone, pollution shrinking penises, what? And more.
All right. And I love it. I love it. So you have a big event coming up. I'm excited about. Yeah.
I got a haircut. Oh, that's not what you were talking about.
Oh, you do have a haircut. We both have had haircuts recently. Yours is better. That is a great haircut.
Mine is just more dramatic. We returned to the pre-pandemic look. I got my first shot this week. Wore my mask and got my hairs cut because I'm going to have to be a person appearing in public again eventually. So Dale's got his vaccinated mask.
Yes, courtesy of Caroline's Joy. Go to my Instagram and you can order one yourself from my daughter's store. Look how I plugged that.
And wasn't she doing like a discount?
Discount. Yeah, go there. There's a discount. It's I'm vaccinated at her store. You get a discount. And she's gotten a lot of orders today.
Yes.
My second, Emerson. I got my second, as you know, and I will be good to go. Up to that 95% or whatever it is for the Pfizer.
That's right. 2 more weeks out, and off you go, off and running, as you have said.
And a week from today, I'll be in the hospital. So everything's just coming together.
That's right. Just in time. And I do want to say to all of you watching, those of you who join us live on Tuesdays and Fridays, thank you so much. I couldn't believe when I was uploading all the old podcasts to the service so that they're now available on iTunes and Alexa and Google, not Google yet, but working on it, Spotify, 100 episodes. We have spent over 100 hours together talking through our favorite and worst parts of the news for our people, and we appreciate all of you.
It's been quite a journey. I mean, I feel like that we all kind of weathered a storm and are still in it somewhat as we went through this together. And I so appreciate this time that I have with you, Emerson. It's always a pleasure to work with you, and we do work hard, but this always feels like play for me. You do most of the work. And I just come and play for an hour. But I am so grateful for so much. And I think that, I don't know if the rest of you felt this during the pandemic, where there are certain people, there are certain just things that we have taken for granted. And I don't ever want to take for granted anything. And I certainly don't take for granted the support that you guys have shown us through this time and before.
Yes. And speaking of support, I want to say thank you to Erica, who went to iTunes and wrote us a review. She's the only one so far. There's like a whole bunch of y'all watching live, and I know that's the fun part, but it would sure help us over there if you went to podcasts on your iPhone and searched the Dell and Emerson Show and wrote us a review. We'd appreciate it.
Yes, 100 reviews by the end of this, or by the end of the day. How's that? That's a lot to.
I was about to say I'd be thrilled with 10.
Okay, let's do 10. Let's go for 10.
Y'all
get drunk. Get drunk.
Right.
Write an appreciative review.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm gonna move us on, or we'll already get off because we added this. Now we've talked a lot about Lil Nas X, the openly queer Black man who had a huge smash hit with Old Town Road, and he released his video for his new song Montero, Call Me By Your Name, last night, and we watched it on the big screen, and y'all need to watch this video. First of all, the track is fantastic, but in the video he goes through this like Garden of Eden moment, and then he's like standing before the court like he was Samson with Jezebel after his hair got cut off. And then at the very end of the video, he slides down a pole into hell and gives Satan a lap dance.
Yes, Lil Nas.
And when I tell you, I cheered at this video. It was weird thinking about it because it's like kind of like what we did with Southern Baptist Sissies. It got me to thinking about how many of us sat in churches and heard people say, love the sinner and hate the sin. And what we heard from that, because it was talking about a piece of who we are, was that we were going to hell. And he took that trauma, that fear that led some of us to have suicidal thoughts. That is why we have lost LGBTQ youth, why people left the church. He took that, flaunted it, reversed it, and threw it back in their faces in this visceral, sexy, absurd, blatant video. And I just cheered at my television. Did you watch it?
I love him. I haven't watched it yet. I had all these goals today, but tonight, my good friend Matt Hayes, our good friend's coming over, and we're going to start with watching that video before we watch Drag Race.
And then on Instagram, he wrote a note, and this to me was what got me on that track. He wrote, Dear 14-year-old Montero, I wrote a song with our name in it. It's about a guy I met last summer. I know we promised to never come out publicly. I know we promised to never be that type of gay person. I know we promised to die with the secret. But this will open doors for many other queer people to simply exist. You see, this is very scary for me. People will be angry. They will say I'm pushing an agenda, but the truth is I am. The agenda to make people stay the fuck out of other people's lives and stop dictating who they should be.
Yes.
Sending you love from the future.
Oh.
And I just thought, I can't even imagine what it would have been like for me as a traumatized teen, sobbing secretly about church, to see somebody laugh in the face of the hell that was being held over my head this way, just flaunting it, stomping into it in heels and Calvin Klein underwear and doing a lap dance on Satan.
I love it. Just the thought of lap dances makes me miss them at the Tin Room in Dallas.
Be like, and you know, as we venture back out, to be able to enjoy those things together.
Oh, I'm gonna take a wad of pennies that I've saved from the Dell and Emerson show, and I'm gonna spend it all on my friends.
That's right. Your tips today in celebration of our 100th episode will go to Dell's lap dance fund.
Is that wrong? No,
Absolutely not. Recreational self-care is an important part of returning to the world.
Well, it's better than some of the residuals. I got a residual for 4 cents today. 4 fucking cents. And I said, really? 4 cents? What am I going to do with that?
Nothing. All right. And in real news, we can finally truly celebrate the nomination and passing of Dr. Rachel Levine. Now is officially the highest situated trans person in government, trans official in U.S. history. Assistant Secretary of Health, the first Senate-confirmed trans person ever. 52-48, slipped by with all the Democrats and Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski. But at the very same time this week, I read a story about a Facebook group, a private group for Pennsylvania police officers and elected officials that's just full of transphobic and racist content. Dozens of posts about Dr. Levine, calling her it or freak. A retired officer posting, someone needs to shoot that thing. Another retired officer complained about getting stuck in racial justice protest traffic, got others responded to use lethal force as protection, while other protesters should be cleared with dogs and water cannons, you know, the way they were in the 1960s. And that on the same time as a new study says trans people are 4 times more likely to face physical violence and be the victim of property crime than cis people. 4 times. Like that's 4 times more than all of us, whether we are gay, bi, poly, pan, whatever our sexuality, 4 times more. And this doctor just wants to do her job. And these is a group of police officers who feel comfortable on Facebook, even in a private group, talking about someone who's been working on behalf of the people of Pennsylvania that they also work for. It's just never ending.
Never. And it's just, it's, you know, you said it, Emerson, I think when we were doing the Dell and Emerson show last time, when gay marriage came about, you said trans people are going to be the next target, and it has so happened. And but in that, the target, but also that we have to fight for together. Every LGBTQ plus, all of us we have to fight for our trans brothers and sisters, and we have to continue to do that.
Summer is actually in. She said she did amazingly in our state of Pennsylvania during the pandemic. People were offered to her though. And Jared said, I live in southwestern Pennsylvania, and sadly, none of that is surprising in the least. So much hate around here. Look, we know it exists everywhere. And I know it can be draining, but this is a marathon. We are all in together, and we have to keep showing up for them.
Absolutely. We're right there. Emerson's running. I'm panting, just panting. So, all right. Pope Francis has appointed Juan Carlos Cruz, a gay Chilean actor who survived sexual abuse by a priest, to be the Pontifical Council for the Protection of Minors. Cruz is the first openly gay person and first from Latin America appointed. He told the Washington Blade, I'm very honored. I am a survivor. I'm gay. I am a lay person. I'm Catholic. It just renews my commitment to change things from within. For survivors, for every person who feels disenfranchised from the church. He's been holding the Catholic Church accountable loudly for years, and again last week. At the same time, though, it turns out that the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops lobbied behind the scenes against the creation of the National Suicide Hotline in 2019. Why? Because it included specific support for LGBTQ people. They also opposed the Violence Against Women Act for the same reason, and the Equality Act, and they opposed the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, and they even opposed the watered-down Fairness for All Act, supported by Mormons and the Orthodox Union. Just, it's the dichotomy. It's like I feel like there's like this fight within the church and within the Pope himself.
Yeah. Well, and like to see that on like just written, my jaw was on the floor a little bit to see that they actively opposed all these legislation designed to protect women, to protect domestic abuse survivors, to support LGBTQ people that experience violence, lack of opportunity. Like it is more important to them to be bigoted than to actually do the things they are supposed to do according to the theology of their religion to help people. Like if we can't be bigots, we don't want to help anybody. We'll take our toys out of the sandbox and go home.
Yes.
You remember we met Juan Carlos at a film festival.
Oh, that's right.
I don't remember which one. I racked my brain because we went to so many.
My God.
Making an appearance.
Yes, I have had communication with Juan Carlos. Yeah. I didn't put it together with this story. Oh, I have to send him an email.
Yeah, I've been such a huge fan of his work since we met him. When we were traveling with a very sort of wedding, he's been a loud and irritating in the best way activist as within the Catholic Church, at the Catholic Church. He is still Catholic and constantly calling out those things. It's so impressive watching people work within the institutions that they love to make them better. It's great.
Yes. Yes.
All right, up next, the Bank of England has just released a new 50-pound banknote to honor Alan Turing. I hope you all know who he is, but he was the gay codebreaker who basically helped win World War II. Andrew Bailey, the governor of the Bank of England, called Turing one of Britain's most important scientists. And he was an incredible mathematician. He was also a developmental biologist and at the very front edge of computer science. And his story is horrifying. This genius man, he was never honored in his lifetime. He was convicted of violating anti-gay laws, and the punishment for that, to not be in prison, I believe he was stayed in his house, was chemical castration. 2 years after the castration, he died at 41 of cyanide poisoning, ruled a suicide. I mean, a genius on so many fields, and because of who he was, convicted. Now, in 2009, the British government issued an apology. In 2013, he was pardoned. And in 2017, they created the Alan Turing Law, retroactively pardoning everyone convicted under the historical anti-gay legislation. But this is a man who will never see, this money that he has put on in his life, not celebrated. But it is amazing. They had used this photo from 1951, and it quotes him on it saying, "This is only a foretaste of what is to come and only the shadow of what is going to be." Now, obviously, I saw a lot of LGBTQ people in the UK saying, that's great, but how about we ban conversion therapy and do things for LGBTQ people now, which is absolutely true. But this honoring, considering the kind of people that end up on money, I just appreciated that he's on a big bill, like on the 50,
Yeah, exactly.
Like I want one.
And if any of you don't know who he is, just go and stream The Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch. It is a fantastic movie, and it's heartbreaking. I like that. We can go spend petty pounds. Like if I was a gay in the UK, I would be saving up my coins. Like he's not on the 1, the 5, the 10. And I would be trying to pay for everything everywhere with 50s. I'd have to save up. Yeah.
But carrying around gay money, it was like gay monopoly money.
Well, you could pay for it. Let's see if you could pay for it, get the change, and then give the change back, and a little. You could figure it out where you could just keep that one rolling.
That's right. Just keep going. Pink petty pounds. Oh, and it's being released on his birthday, June 23rd. In the middle of Pride Month. So it's sort of perfect all the way around. This pink pounds, Pride.
All right. Well, we got a wife, Cheating. That's the name of my first play, Cheating. Jennifer Heinel met a man named Kenneth Grayson on Facebook with chat starting last November. The two met up at the Capitol on January the 6th, caught on camera on video inside the rotunda, and identified by a photo on Grayson's iPad as well. Grayson told detectives that he stormed the Capitol to satisfy his needs to kill people, which included current President Joe Biden. The problem is that Jennifer there, smiling there with the Trump hat, she is married to Detective Michael Heinel, a police officer who works with the FBI Pittsburgh's Violent Crime Task Force. So in addition to being charged with disorderly and disruptive conduct and violent entry on Capitol grounds, Jennifer was served with divorce papers. The FBI, I'm sorry, I laughed. It's tragic.
No, it's not. That's hysterical.
It is hysterical. The FBI found Facebook Messenger chats between the two discussing their travel plans, including hotel and car rental arrangements. And Michael, with the overly spiked gray hair, is reportedly knew about his. No, that's not him. That's the other guy. Michael reportedly knew about his wife's plan to attend Trump's pre-inauguration rally and discouraged her from going, not growing. That's Kenneth Grayson with the overly spiked gray hair.
No, it's not. Kenneth Grayson is the man she had an affair with that she was at the Capitol.
Well, I was right. So the good guy is with the, I got it. I got all the players now. But why? Here's what I don't understand. If you're having an affair, I don't understand this story. I don't understand how you take a lovey-dovey picture with your mister.
I don't know how you have an affair when your husband works with the FBI.
I don't either. She didn't think that through.
I mean, it's just representative of the caliber of intelligence of people that were in the rotunda during the Capitol invasion. But I mean, you met a man on Facebook. You met up with him at the Capitol thinking no one's going to know. Now, he had a mask over his face, but she did not. Like, ma'am, the degree of stupidity. That your husband could wink, wink, nudge, nudge somebody to go through everything you own, and you would never know. You need to be having an affair by carrier pigeon and smoke signals, or your husband is going to be able to find it.
She wanted to be called, Emerson. She wanted out. Maybe.
I don't know. It sounds like she's surprised by that divorce papers. Also that the husband, I mean, and honestly though, like the mortification for the husband, he has a good job that he does well. His boss came out and said, he's great. He had nothing to do with this. Like how that reflects on, you know, you didn't just disgrace him within your marriage. You disgraced him publicly at his own job because you're a fucking idiot.
An idiot. A fucking idiot. She needs to wear the t-shirt that says, I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah, but just, your husband works for the FBI. You are not going to get away with this.
You know, I've been perplexed because they always start these stories about, you know, they say, help us identify these people, but I never get, do they get them? They say that the FBI will always get them when they put them out like that.
Yes, they did. I mean, the amount of all those photos, people found all that stuff. They were like, who's this? Who's this? People on the internet are terrifying these days. You give like a corner of an eyebrow and somebody's like, I reverse image searched that and flipped it over and found it, and it's from 2007 from this person's Flickr account.
I thought I saw one of my cousins in one of those pictures.
In one of the pictures at the Capitol?
I said, oh, that looks like so-and-so.
Did you take a screen cap and send it around to the family?
I called around. I said, is he out of jail? I need to know if he's out of jail because I think I saw his picture at the Capitol.
Wait, was this
don't say it. Do not say it.
Everybody that's watched any of your shows knows who you're talking about. You have said this man's name from in 70
but
cities.
now he's out of jail and I'm scared. He's out of prison.
He might not be at the Capitol, but he's on the way to Los Angeles. If you're watching, his address is.
Why do you think I keep my address hidden?
I know, but I figured here on our 100th episode, I'd finally pay you back for shouting my email out to the whole world and get Dell's home address is.
Don't do that's. I had that stalker.
Can you imagine?
Showed up at my house. I can't do that.
I can't do it. Bless her stupid heart. All right, moving on. I want to know what y'all think about this next one because it just made my brain bleed. That's just a hint at what I think. I want to find this picture. I had not heard of this, but in Australia, there is an ice cream brand first released in 1959 called Golden Gaytime. This is it. Good old Golden Gaytime ice cream treats, founded 1959. Well, there is a homosexual in Australia who has started a petition to have them rebrand the name because it is outdated and offensive. I went to his petition. It says in 2021, gay means gays meaning primarily is related to sexuality. As a gay man, I have needed to fight to be myself, overcoming many things. I'm a proud gay man. As a part of the LGBTQIA+ community, I believe my sexual identity is owned by me, not a brand, and that the outdated meaning no longer applies. Isn't it time for this double entendre to end? Within Australia in 2020, there were 3 well-published brands renamed due to racism. Redskins became Red Ripper, Chicos became Cheekies, and Coon Cheese became Cheer. He says under the law, they are the same, seen as the same, referring to discrimination based on age, sex, race, disability, gender identity, or sexual orientation. Now, the petition only has 1,200 signatures, but the brand responded back to him. They said the origin of the Gaytime name was and remains related to having a joyous or happy time and was meant to capture the pleasure that comes with enjoying an ice cream. After our definition grew, they embraced it with the slogan, "It's so hard to have a gay time on your own." And boxes still say, 4 delicious chances to have a gay time. The man says he's been personally attacked for speaking up and been called a snowflake and bonkers ridiculous.
Well, he is ridiculous.
I'd say,
I'm sorry, but he's ridiculous. That my opinion about this is that's bullshit. Things mean 2 things sometimes, And those people have the right to have the name of that. That is just like so ridiculous. I just, yes, thank you, Johnny Hartman, an idiot. I hope that I'm glad I'm not alone.
And
being go after my gays, but he's an idiot.
Well, no, but that's part of why I put it in, because it's incumbent upon us within the community when someone goes too far to say that's not it. You know,
no.
Straight people cis can't say that's not homophobic. We have to be the ones to say you're being ridiculous. I don't want to take anything away from how hard his personal journey has been, but the racism of the other logos he was talking about is not the same as them using the happy meaning of gay. There's nothing negative in the connotation.
Nothing. It's like, you know, I felt really bad when I was a kid and I was a little fatty. I lost a bunch of weight because I got this product called AIDS. Do y'all remember that? It was called AIDS, AIDS. It was supposed to suppress your appetite. And of course, when the AIDS pandemic came about, they had to change their name because it just, you know, it was not good. But that, I don't know.
Well, no, it is. The other thing it made me think of, you know, recently Kylie Jenner tried to sue Kylie Minogue to trademark just the name Kylie in the US. And Kylie Minogue fought her lawsuit so hard, and her attorneys in one of the lawsuits said she's a second-tier reality star. And I've been around for a long time because Kylie Jenner has a makeup brand and all this stuff. And it was a little bit like that. Like, there's room for both of you in the world, but you can't have my name.
Exactly. No. Oh, Kylie Jenner, you stupid little idiot. Do not go after Kylie Minogue.
I feel like she's around for decades before you.
I've never liked those Jenners, but I really don't like them now.
Well, I just don't pay attention one way or the other, but I just thought the gumption you have to have to think, I'm going to trademark this one-word name that I am not the first person to have.
It's like, I bet old Chris named her after Kylie Minogue. I bet she heard a Kylie Minogue song and named her Kylie. Or no, well, maybe Caitlin did, you know.
Jared Johnson said, do we have to change the Flintstones theme song? We'll have a gay old time.
Or what about, you know, Deck the Halls with, you know, isn't
we now are gay apparel?
Gay apparel, you know.
Lord, tinsel's far gayer a word than gay apparel.
To Emerson's Instagram, you'll see gay apparel every single day.
It is my favorite, but it is, we have to be able to say, like, we're doing too much, because there's nothing negative in the connotation that they are using it for. In fact, it should be the point that that's the association we want, right? Happy associations, positive ones. Everybody loves ice cream.
I feel like that on our 100th show, maybe we should just start saying, I call bullshit.
You know what? I didn't consider, maybe he's lactose intolerant and just resentful.
He could be.
Because I just said everyone loves ice cream, but that's just slapping it in the face of the people who need that lactase or lactate or whatever it is so they can eat some ice cream. Maybe it's that.
Go get some
also,
so delicious coconuts. You know?
Get yourself a push pop or some Haagen-Dazs and shut up.
Yeah.
You don't have to eat a Gaytime. It made me want to get it. If Gaytime ice cream existed here and it tasted good, I would buy it all the time. It would make me laugh every time.
All right. We have spent so much time on this bashing this poor old guy who's trying to
Not bashing, but you have to be realistic, sir. When people are telling you that you are being unreasonable, the brand engaged with you reasonably, we are willing to get upset about most things. If you're the first person to think of something, it's probably because it's not worth fighting.
Well, we know there's 1,200 idiots because they got 1,200 signatures.
I know, but that to me on one of those online petitions is like your Facebook friends, basically.
And you signed it 14 times from a different account.
And just kept signing it from every email I have. Lord, between all our shows and projects and things, I have like 10.
At least.
All right, well, we've reached the halfway point of this 100th episode. And if you enjoy what we do here and have enjoyed it for the entire last year, as we approach our 1-year anniversary, is actually the 31st from the day Dell called and said, should we do this? Because we're stuck at home with nothing to do. And I said, yes.
Was it my idea? I thought it was your idea.
I don't know.
Thank you. So I was my idea, and you have to do all the work, Emerson.
Right. No, it was yours because I was standing outside of Blake's house. I know where I was because I was thinking Blake's parents' house because I was thinking through like how do we do that and what do we make that work and all that.
Here we are, 100.
Here we are. Well, if you enjoy it and you've got more money than you know what to do with and you want to send us $1, 50, 100, several thousand because you're rolling in money bags, good for you. You can send us a tip on Venmo to @EmersonCollins or on PayPal to beardcollinshoresproductions@gmail.com. And a huge thank you. A number of you have given significant amounts already today. Xana, Leanne, Bob Bielenberg, Arthur Jackson. We do appreciate it. And we said before, I have said many times in my mental health journey, doing this show has forced me to pull myself together. I do always feel better at the end of this hour than I did at the beginning of it. So we are incredibly grateful. If you can't contribute, do not feel bad about that. I will say it's meaningful, the people who can, for the work that we put in to do it, but that y'all share it. If you'll go write us a review on iTunes and subscribe over there, even if you don't download and listen to it because you already watched it live, it helps with the numbers. We are very grateful.
I saw a comment float by and said, we should all give 100.
Several have.
I can't find the comment though, but that's very sweet. Whoever said that,
y'all, I'm not kidding. $1 makes the difference.
Any increments of 100 would be great. $1, $10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 is really great.
But very seriously, we know we're all in things. You know, I'm still filing that unemployment. Do not give us any money you need for yourself.
Please, I'm being silly.
You know, I still carry that gay guilt from the church. I don't need any guilt that I'm like taking a cocktail out of your hand.
Did you ever, did they always preach the tithing? The 10%?
Oh God, yes. I gave my 10%. I gave my dime from my allowance as a child. I'd get my $1 and 10 cents went into the offering plate.
Oh, you were such a good little Baptist.
Well, I didn't really have a choice. It was not optional.
It was like you owe a dime to Jesus.
It was. I mean, it was said nicely, but there was never a question that I could be like, no, I don't want to.
I know there was a lot of guilt with those tithes. And then
I'm like, it's not a gift if you make me do it.
Right.
But that's why they call it a tithe. They didn't say a gift. Your gifts were above your tithe.
No, tithe was obligatory. Did anybody else have that? Did y'all have that out there where in the church they said tithe?
Brent, the title on iTunes of the show is just the Dell and Emerson Show. Now, to be confusing, there's two. There's the old one from when we did it 2014 to 2016. So look to the one that says 2020.
All right, moving on. And this story really spoke to me this week because I had an incident. A gay couple in Ireland were celebrating their first anniversary with a visit to the town of Newcastle for a romantic walk in the Mourne Mountains. And on their walk, they stopped for ice cream, leaving the car for about 10 minutes. So when they came back to their car, they found what they thought was a parking ticket, but it turned out to be a handwritten note. Now, this is in Ireland. It said, "Kissy, kissy, kissy, queer boys. God's wrath will fall on you. Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve." And one of the couple said they must have seen us kissing, which we were doing in our own space in the car before we got out to get the ice cream. But why would you go out of your way to write something like that and stick it on someone's car? They did report it to the police and said, we are both 22 and of a generation that is more accepting. So for this to happen has shocked us, but I know it's just a minority and I will continue to do my own thing. And, you know, when I read this story this morning, coincidentally,
wait, before you tell your other story, can I comment on the story?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm just obsessed with the choice to rip this note off some crumpled envelope and then kissy, kissy, kissy queer boys. First of all, that sounds like the name of a new pop single from years and years of Lil Nas X. Or
by Kylie Minogue.
Yes. Oh my God. If Kylie Minogue, first of all, her disco album has gotten us through the pandemic. That and Dua Lipa is who we listen to the whole time. Kissy, kissy, kissy queer boy. I would be dancing my little jockstrapped, rhinestone-studded jockstrapped ass out at the club.
We need to present that to our friend Debbie Holiday. She should write kissy.
Yes, kissy, kissy, kissy queer boy. Okay, now do your other because you had a really relevant
short story. But yesterday on Instagram, I posted a picture And I was so fortunate in 2018 to be the headliner of Eureka Springs Diversity Weekend, thanks to our good friend, I think she's watching today, Melody Purdy. And she said, would you lead our public display of affection, PDA event? And the great thing about this event is that Eureka Springs in Arkansas, it was illegal for same-sex couples to kiss publicly. And then when that law changed, they celebrated it in this park, and everybody kisses. I don't care if you're straight or gay or straight, you know, you kiss. And so I said, well, if you, who, with whom? I need someone hot. And she said, how about him? And it was Trevor Wayne, the artist who I love and adore. And we got to know each other that day with that kiss. So I posted that on Instagram, and y'all, I mean, it's amazing that who I am and, you know, what my body of work is, that there were people who had problems with that picture and who unfollowed me, and some said, unfollowing you, or that's disgusting. One person wrote me, that is disgusting. And so I did, if you care, go to my Instagram today and watch my rant, my rambling about that, because it's just ridiculous. It's like, if you don't know who I am, and I said, sometimes, y'all, it's time to weed your garden. So I am so glad I posted that picture, because all you people who unfollow me, good. You should not be following me.
It happens to me sometimes too. I get the people's couch fans or people that follow me because I said something vaguely intelligent somewhere once, and then I post one of my offensively bulgy Speedo photos, and they go, oh. I have delightful straight men in my life who regularly, when I run into them in real life, say, I swear every time I open Instagram, I'm staring at a picture of your penis. And I say, you're welcome.
But you know, my daughter Caroline's fiance Max loves your Instagram. He loves that you post those Speedo putt pictures. So it's like, just open your minds, and you know, what would you have a problem with a man and a woman kissing? No, most of you would not. So someone wrote me today. They said, well, it was just too much. What the fuck? Too much?
Said, no, it was not. How dare you? It's just a cute little open mouth kiss.
And last comment on this. Look, I had a lot of new people follow me because of Leslie Jordan tagged me in a post. And so there's some conservative people who follow him. And I want to say, and what I did say to them is, we are not just monkeys on a chain. We are not here just to be your entertainers, to make you laugh. You know, we actually have lives. We have sex and we kiss. Okay.
Yes.
I'm done.
Up next, Shang, the hot, hunky male lead of Disney's animated Mulan, who was originally, the speaking voice was voiced by outstar of stage and screen BD Wong. And he did an interview last week with Las Culturistas podcast, a phenomenal culture podcast without actors, hosts, comedians, Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang, of course, from SNL. And he made some news about the character as they got into a discussion about his sexuality, because Mulan in the movie, of course, arrives as dressed as a man. And then, of course, is revealed that she is a woman at the end. But he said, when we made it, fluidity was not a word. We didn't talk about fluidity. Now we have fluidity. Now we watch Shang and his choices and his actions and see it through fluidity. This whole idea that there's a needle and it goes from 0 to 100, and it doesn't have to be one place or the other. It can move. So in that case, I'm recalibrating my answer. Of course he was. Of course he was. What other reason would there be? And I wanted to share that because I know for many, many bisexual people, Shang has been the one Disney character they held up as, like, not officially, but outside of canon, as bisexual, because it seemed he's attracted to Mulan, both presenting as a man and when she presents as a woman. And I loved that they had that conversation with him. So, you know, new sexually fluid bisexual icon, Shang. I mean, I feel like many of us have been attracted to a Disney character or two.
I know I have.
There is this artist, Blake keeps showing these to me because, you know, Blake's one of those Disney people like those. Like, I know all the words to the songs, but he's invested. There is an artist who keeps making Disney porns of the Disney character. Like, there was one the other day that is full on animated King Triton having sex with Prince Eric.
No.
if I had seen that at like 16 or 17, that would have been undone.
I'm surprised Disney has not sued him.
Well, I think there's so much like Disney stuff. I'm sure if they found it, but I was like, don't let the children see it. But as an adult, I appreciate that as the adult realization of something that was occurring to me, developing, growing up.
All right, and more trans news, and this is a beautiful story about how, as we see generation and young people coming together to support trans rights, and Liam and Evan Oliver are brothers. One is in elementary, and the other is in middle school. There they are, and in Florida, they spoke to Florida state legislators to oppose a proposed bill to ban trans athletes. Liam said he was opposing this trans bill because it is unconstitutional, as the 14th Amendment gives every person equal protection under the law, regardless of gender identity. And then he shared that he has a trans friend named Sam who already is bullied enough for being who he is. He said, stop being bullies and vote no on this bill. And then Evan spoke after his brother, saying the bill is unwanted by most of the public in Florida. And he said, it's also unfair to give trans kids more trouble than they already have. I was taught growing up that you should stop hurting people if you already are. Don't hurt trans girls, vote no. And this video just is so touching, so beautiful.
It's just so wonderful. It's that out of the mouths of babes. And it's just simple for them. Like, that's my friend, and what you're doing is hurting my friend. But also, like, the eloquence and ability to stand in front of a group of adults at that age and just say, this isn't right. It's the core of the simplicity of the entirety of the issue.
And it shows that some kids are being raised right, and it makes me feel good, as a parent, that
Yes.
there are parents who taught their kids not to hate and to love.
Yep. But these bills are advancing across the country, and some of the ones we've been following, literally just this afternoon, Arkansas Governor Hutchinson signed a law allowing doctors to refuse to treat someone in a non-emergency situation because of religious and moral objections. Read bigotry. Fully passed. Their transports bill has passed the Senate and the House, headed to him probably next week. Tennessee, both of their anti-trans bills are headed to their governor to sign, and there's a new one there. A bill to ban schools from using textbooks or instructional materials that promote, normalize, support, or address lesbian, gay, bisexual, or trans issues or lifestyle. Like, fully just can't mention it in schools. If you don't teach them about it, it won't exist, right? And then even more absurd than that, they have brought up a bill to make the Bible the state book of Tennessee.
Well, I mean, Stacey Canfield was doing that "Don't Say Gay" bill forever in Tennessee. It never passed, but it looks like, the bigotry is just continuing and accelerating. And as you said earlier in the show, we have to keep fighting. It's a marathon.
And it's trying to erase our existence. If you take us our healthcare out of health classes, if you take us out of history books, there's no acknowledgement that we exist, which leaves LGBTQ young people at school not knowing that there is a place for them in the world at all.
So Brick is gone and Cat on the Hot Tin Roof. Brick is gone. I mean,
yep.
It's just.
All right, go on to that next one.
Are we going to go to the Sharon Stone story?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Sharon Stone's vagina is in the news. In her memoir, The Beauty of Living Twice, Sharon Stone sheds new light on the famous leg crossing scene in Basic Instinct. She explains a member of the production scene told her to take off her underwear because the white was reflecting light, and she was told her vagina would not be visible in the shot. So she found out it was visible at a screening with a room full of agents and lawyers, most of whom had nothing to do with the project. After the screening, she slapped Paul Verhoeven across the face and called her attorney Marty Singer. Oh, Marty Singer, he's a big badass here, who said it had been illegally made by SAG rules. She said, I let Paul know of the options Marty had laid out for me. Of course, he vehemently denied that I had any choices at all. I was just an actress, just a woman. What choice could I have? But I did have choices. So I thought and thought, and I chose to allow the scene in the film. Why? Because it was correct for the film and for the character. And because after all, I did it.
I put this in because this struck me so hard, because in watching the film, that feels like such a strong power move on the character's part, you know, that this woman is in control of herself, her body, the man, you know, Michael Douglas across the table, that she is making this powerful decision to use her sex, her sexuality, her body to control the room. And so for her to say that she, as the woman doing it, all of her agency was taken away. They literally lied to her about what they were shooting, and she discovered it in a room full of people. Now, it's amazing that she says, she went on to say, it's good for the character, it's good, I feel good about what it is in the movie, but that they didn't have that honest conversation with her before they did it. And she had to come to terms with being okay with it afterwards. Like the misogyny in that, the juxtaposition with what the scene is just such a reminder, you know, of what women face in so many aspects of culture. I mean, Sharon Stone is this icon of incredibly strong female characters, and then running out to scream to her attorney that the director did this, and then had him like gaslight her that she couldn't do anything. She's the actress. It is what it is, basically.
And it was
bonkers.
And, you know, Sharon had done a lot of B movies, and this was her first big break. I actually was at that premiere because my friend Ronan Newton-John was dating her brother Michael at the time. And so we were at that premiere. And I think all of this had happened right before. So she, at that time, had made peace with it. But
well, it's like, and Xana asked, do you think she would have let it go if it happened today? Different times then. You know, it's interesting. I feel like they could have had that honest conversation up front, right? We want to do this. We'll protect you. We'll let you see it. We'll feel good about it. Those kinds of things are negotiated in every detail in contracts. But it certainly would have been a different situation now. It'd be interesting to see what she would have done to the movie given the advancements and progress we've made. But I just thought it was worth sharing that even things that look a certain way can be different when you know the backstory. So I would imagine it's an incredible book to read.
Well, I have to say that when we did Queer as Folk, we had a sex meeting every single time there was a sex scene. We had it with the director, with the writer, and with the actors, and they had to be. If they weren't okay with it, the way it was going to be shot, we didn't do it. We respected that.
Absolutely. All artists collaborating together produces the best results.
I mean, you've been in those scenes. We've talked about it. Are you comfortable with this?
Yes, we have. We did. My ass has been out in everything we've done. All right, in other fun, silly news, because you know I love Christmas, Gay Christmas is already on its way. Netflix has ordered a holiday film called Single All the Way, get it, from openly gay writer and showrunner Chad Hodge, who I'm a huge fan of his work. It's for this coming Christmas, the story of a gay man who's tired of family picking on his single status, so he has his best friend come home with him and they pretend to be boyfriends. Then his mom sets him up with a hunky trainer and madness ensues, I'm sure. But it's exciting. It will star openly gay actors, Luke McFarlane on the left, and you obviously know Michael Urie on the right, who we love, along with Philemon Chambers, Barry Bostwick, Jennifer Coolidge, and Kathy Najimy.
Yeah.
Chad Hodge said, he said, I sat down to write this movie. I made a list of all the things I personally wanted to see in a holiday rom-com. The list ran the gamut from honestly portraying the uniqueness of gay friendships and relationships to the often hilarious dynamics of our family to Jennifer Coolidge. I'm so grateful to Netflix for embracing all of it. I can't wait. I love that last year got people into going, we deserve our like fun, silly rom-com holiday movies just like they put out for everybody else. I can't wait.
Well, they were very successful, so we're going to continue to get them. And that's positive, y'all. We need to celebrate that, you know, sure, 103,000 moms are pissed, but who gives a fuck? All right, so Long Beach, it's not too far from us, and this was a shocking story to me. It's one of the country's most LGBTQ-friendly places with a perfect 100 HRC score for protections and services. On Tuesday, a rainbow lifeguard painted for pride burned down there, and firefighters responded to the flames at just after midnight. The Long Beach Marine Safety Chief Gonzalo Medina said The tower served as a symbol of our strong support for diversity within our ranks and the LGBTQ community who calls Long Beach home. The tower will be replaced and be repainted by lifeguards. Openly gay Mayor Robert Garcia said on Twitter that he had little doubt that it was a criminal act of hate. He said, to whomever committed this act, we will rebuild it better and brighter.
I love that you just tried to fix that for him.
Well, it's just, I'm come on, you're right.
It's a quote. You can't correct a quote.
I didn't mean to correct the quote. I was reading it and I read it organically from and then I corrected into his incorrect English. So there we go.
Having that mom as a teacher, I get it. I do the same. It's just funny because it's like, oh, no, that's what you said. I have to just say it. And good for that. Like, that's what's so sad. And I love that they're just going to put it back off. Like, bite me, arson. We're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that the lifeguards are going to rebuild it and repaint it,
Yes.
So.
All right. Well, before we get to the end of our 100th episode show, y'all know I try to find us news that is serious, that's about varying parts of our community, silly stuff we can celebrate. And y'all, I've got one for you today. Now, if you are not someone worried about the fate of our planet and how we as people are contributing to its destruction, because you think, you know what, I'm going to be dead before it matters, here is a reason for you to care right away. Get on board with the Green New Deal, because according to Vice, a new book from renowned environment and reproductive epidemiologist Dr. Shauna H. Swan, y'all, pollution is causing penises to shrink. That should matter to everyone but lesbians, because all of us either have one, want to play with one, enjoy them. So if you can't do it for magnanimous reasons, you should worry about pollution for the penises. Her new book, Countdown, How Our Modern World is Threatening Sperm Counts, Altering Male and Female Reproductive Development, and Imperiling the Future of the Human Race, casual title, ties industrial chemicals in everyday projects to lower sperm counts, erectile dysfunction, and smaller dicks. She says the average 20-something is less fertile than her grandmother was at 35. A man might have half the sperm count of his grandfather, a 59% drop from 73 to 2011. She calls it, and I wholeheartedly agree, a global existential crisis as pollutants and chemicals are decreasing semen quality, leading to the shrinking penis size.
No.
You know what I just realized? That is why when you see those old man dicks in Palm Springs at the nudie resorts, their dicks look bigger.
They are bigger.
They didn't grow up with as much pollution.
Their balls are down to their knees.
That's why they're more likely to hang. Does your dick hang low? Does it wobble to and fro? She also said that exposure to the phthalates at the end of the first trimester for pregnant women led to shorter anogenital distance. Now, I did not know what that was, but she explained it. It's your taint. It leads to shorter taints. Y'all know what that is, right? Taint the front, taint the back, taint the vag, taint the hole, taint the balls, taint the butt. It's that distance. 100 years ago, men's taints were nearly 100% longer than women's. Chemicals shorten it. Now, I don't know what a shorter taint means, but it seems to be a bad thing. These chemicals are found in plastics, herbicides, toothpaste, shampoos, cosmetics, cushions, and ATM receipts. CVS receipts are making dicks smaller.
Well, they're so long, those receipts.
Well, yeah, I know. You get a long receipt and a short dick. So the solution, according to her book, is buying organic produce, using less plastic, eating home-cooked meals rather than eating out, since food packages and gloves transfer phthalates into food. Y'all, this is a crisis. You may not care about the ozone layer, but you should care for all of our sakes about puny penises coming from pollution.
And y'all, I don't want to read that whole title of her book again, but Emerson did not read what he wrote in the outline. He said, the mouthful of a book.
Yes. I added it afterwards in the moment.
Oh, it was what a crazy story.
I mean, but seriously, like it being ridiculous, but I mean, that ought to at least make some people care. I guess you could still be a narcissist and not care, because at this point, your penis is what it is. It's the next generation that matters. And if you want to be the old man swinging a bigger dick, I guess keep using, that Aquanet plastic to-go containers and toothpaste.
Well, I have to say, I stopped. I got the water filtering program and everything. I don't use the plastic bottles anymore. Nothing. I buy only organic these days, and there's a way. I go to Imperfect Foods.
I just want to start walking around Trader Joe's and standing next to the organic bananas versus the ones that are cheaper, which I buy, and start saying, get these, a little more expensive, but better for your penis.
Yeah, you'll have a bigger, buy this organic one, you'll have a bigger dick.
Now, spoiler alert, it will not impact those of us that already have the penis that we have, but it's about pregnancy and about future generations. But a 59% drop in sperm count since 1973 to 2011, that's a lot.
But people are still having babies.
Our sad little swimmers are getting lonely. Wait, hold on. Dwayne Pierce said, my balls are already down to my ankles.
Dwayne, thank you for sharing that.
Just tie them around your knee when you get worried.
If YouTube wouldn't kick us off, we would share a pic for us.
say, as Dwayne said, say it tain't so. Leanne said, what the hell? I've never seen a big penis. Say it's not so. I want to see a big one before I die. Leanne. The Google right above.
Oh my God! Yes, email me. I'll send you some pictures. Not of me, but I can find some for you.
I have several text threads. I have a dear friend I won't name, who there's a video of a man with one of those vacation penises I talk about. You don't want to live there, but it's nice to see for a weekend. He pulls it out and it's just, my face hurts, my butt, everything hurts just looking at it. It's not even a pleasant visual experience.
Yeah. Well, there are people who are blessed. I said you're blessed.
Blessed and gifted. Look at genetics.
If you're blessed too much, it's like, I don't think that's such a good thing.
Be like, look, you got to find, every puzzle piece has a fit. Every penis has a hole. Yeah. Anyway, so stop with the pollution. Watch out for the plastics. Oh, here we are at the end of our 100th episode.
I have one little sip left. Y'all, cheers.
You did so good. You did not get to that tipsy place that entertains us all so much.
I know, but here, I want to make a promise because we have to tell everybody we're going to be on a little hiatus here, correct, Emerson?
Yeah, probably 2 weeks, y'all. We're going to take a break.
We're not going to be back for 2 weeks. I have to have surgery, and until I'm better, I don't know that y'all want me to do a show on Vicodin, but you may. But the moment I will post, I promise I will post at least one rambling when I'm fucked up on drugs.
I told him, I said, y'all, he has to. Don't worry, you'll see the same notices. We'll send out the emails. You'll see the post when we come back. But it's quite possible that it will be 2 weeks from today. The 9th be the most likely first possibility. While Dell's still a little bit on pills and we can have fun. But we'll
kill it.
And we'll keep you posted. In the meantime, once again, thank you. If you enjoy what we do and you want to send us a tip on Venmo, that is at Emerson Collins, or on PayPal, it's beardcollinsshores@gmail.com. I do have one fun thing to share for the weekend.
Oh, please.
Blake's birthday is tomorrow.
Yes.
And, we still can't go anywhere or do anything. We're renting a house in Paso Robles this weekend for a couple of days that's safely away, where we don't have to go anywhere, but we can change venues. But he decided last minute he's going to do a birthday happy hour show tomorrow at 2:00 Pacific on his Facebook and YouTube. I'll put the YouTube link in the chat, but if you just search Blake on YouTube or on Facebook, you'll see the post is already there. Come join us. He's going to sing 12 songs. I'm going to join him for a song or two. He's had some requests, a few of his favorite, a little more casual than our big show. It's free. So just, if you're around tomorrow, come join us to celebrate the birthday of the man I love.
Is that 2 p.m. our time, Pacific time?
Yes, 2 p.m. Specific time. So 5 o'clock Eastern.
I'm teaching actors and I will get off there and go right to the show. So yes.
And you can come and you can watch it anytime. He'll leave it up. So if you're busy tomorrow afternoon, but watch it. He's doing that. Also, I told him, we did a show on my birthday so we could get tips. Y'all tip him. He won't push it as hard as I will, but it's his birthday.
Blake MacGyver, happy birthday. You are a saint, and you know why.
And so, well, everyone knows. Y'all, Dale just said Blake has to put up with me. He's sitting over there in the other room waiting to rehearse his show. You know, I've just been screaming at my computer. He's about to get to that point where he goes, I'm just tired of hearing the sound of your voices.
Blake, come over. I've got a spare bedroom.
I'm going to
be sleeping for 2 weeks. Sleeping and chilling.
That wouldn't help. It's your voice just as much as mine. It's the combo of us screaming on FaceTime.
I'm going to be down. I'm going to be down for the count.
Wait,
Emerson, you come over after, you know, and just keep me company, and then
who's taking you
on vacation.
Who's taking you?
Rebecca is taking me. I've had a lot of people who have asked if they could help, Emerson. You have not been one of them. But you took me last time. Yo, I have to say one thing before we go. I know we're over time, but last time Emerson took me to have surgery, the last thing he said to me is, please don't die.
I say it every time to everyone before, please don't die.
Please don't die. But I have to tell you, I did bring out my estate this week, and I started making some changes.
You got to get those last pencil notes in and get it notarized. You know, this is it. Danielle said, I'm going to leave a note calling you Kissy, Kissy, Kissy Queer Boys. That's going to be the new title.
I'm telling you, that is a hit song. Kissy, Kissy Queer Boys. Kissy, Kissy Queer Boys.
All right. Well, y'all, here at the end of our 100th episode, we are so grateful to you, whether you join us live every weekly, to those of you who tip us, to those of you who listen back later, to those of you just finding us on iTunes and Spotify and Amazon, to those of you who are going to leave reviews while we take a little 2-week break, please do. We are incredibly grateful. We love doing this. We enjoy all of you so much, and thank you.
We absolutely do. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Blake MacGyver, have a great birthday. I love you. I love you, Emerson Collins. Thank you for doing this with me for 100 times. And
I love you too. All right, y'all, take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. We'll be back before you even notice we were gone. Bye.